on the Indispensable Employee. I have Mrs. Bajula is still with me on the show, and we're talking about the qualities of the indispensable employee. Before we went on the break, we started talking about the actions that the indispensable employee will need to take to prove his relevance, you know, to the organization. And we said he has to be interested in the organization's needs. He has to see the big picture and all that. So what's the next thing right after that?
Right, so now you know the bigger picture.
Yes.
You'll also be aware of certain things that have been hanging that the organization hasn't been able to close in order for them to meet or go to the next level of success. It could be a transaction that they are trying to close, maybe a large client they are trying to land. It could be a license that they are supposed to get to be able to operate. A number of things ail different organizations.
So are you saying that whether or not it has anything to do with the reason why I was hired, I can actually go into an organization and I perceive that this is a need that hasn't been met, and I try to do something about it?
Yes. You just, you try, and because the indispensable employee is result-oriented, you actually close the deal.
You close the deal.
You make sure that whatever is left as a loose thread is handled. Now, when you do that, you are a major player in your
in the organization.
Yes.
And so, you know, so I think some people always wonder why they haven't been promoted. You've probably worked for a place for years, and you're wondering why everyone around you is being promoted. So you could actually say, okay, so what do they need?
There you go.
Interesting.
There you go.
Interesting. Yeah, so what's next? What else should we know about?
Right, I like to call this part Infomania.
Infomania.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You become an information reservoir for your organization. You go ahead and find out economic statistics, you find out global opportunities.
For the organization.
For the organization. You find out market feedback, what clients are saying. You find out improvements in the processes, the process
drivers.
Even
if you were not sent.
Even if you were not
sent. You were not assigned to find
You see,
that
because
out.
you are a patriot now. It is your nation, you know. So anything that has to do with the organization is your business. So now, when the organization wants to make decisions, you have valuable information for them. And so before long, they are not aware when they always just go to you to say, what do you think about this? And you have the information ready to give them.
Fantastic. And you're indispensable.
You are.
Okay, and then we have perfect timing.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, perfect timing, you see, you can be a blabbermouth with information, or you can be a constructive information provider. Now, when you're going to be constructive here, you need to understand, like the sons of Issachar, you need to understand the times and the seasons. Yeah. So when there is a need for the information, you are able to provide it when it is due and in a detailed manner. What do I mean by detailed? Every aspect of your information is addressing the needs of the time and the season. So you're not just giving them, I mean, you can ask somebody, what do you know about Apple? And the person can download Google's information on Apple and hand that over to you. That is not helpful. But if you know what information I want about Apple, you can then give me that information to help me make the decision. So here I'm saying to you that you need to know what the organization needs. What are the issues that are going on in the mind of management at that period in time? Some employees say, oh, I submitted a proposal to my boss and then they just shelved it because
it wasn't relevant.
It's not relevant for right now. So once you know what is relevant for right now, they are right now indispensable employee.
So I guess to be able to do that, you have to focus a lot on self-development.
Yes, which is the final step.
Yeah.
You need to build yourself to be. My pastor says, if you want to be, if you want to have, you need to be. That's work on being in order to have.
And not on having.
Because
with what you are,
you will have.
Yeah.
That's it. So be the indispensable employee. Build skills in yourself that are valuable to the organization. So don't wait to be sent on training. Train yourself. Engage in material that will build your mind. Engage in social networking that will build your personality. So always develop yourself to be that strong member of the team, and you become the indispensable employee.
Great, that's fantastic. So if someone asks and he says, I want to be promoted, I want to be relevant, all he needs to do really is adhere to the steps, you know, see the big picture, close the deal, have all the information the organization needs, ensure you're giving out the information at the perfect time, and invest in self-development.
It'll be all right. There are a few other steps which I cover in a chapter, but
okay,
that
the chapter of the book.
Yes.
What companies want.
Yes.
Fantastic. Now let's go ahead to talk about sexual harassment,
Okay.
especially for ladies. You know, in organizations, is on the rise. You know, bullying and sexual harassment. What would be your advice on how to deal with that?
Now, the beautiful thing is we're on a Christian set.
Yeah.
Life is spiritual.
Yes, it is.
Firstly, let's look at sexual harassment. There are basic steps you can take. You need to know as a lady that it is not wrong for a male person to make advances at you, your boss or your colleague.
Yeah.
It is not a sin. Why? Because you are attractive.
And he's a man.
He's a man. So he's going to go after you. But you see, what is wrong is unsolicited
advances.
Well, unsolicited physical contact. Advances would be, oh, hello, how are you? Okay, let's go out. You know, he keeps disturbing you. Unsolicited advances and putting your job on the line.
Yeah.
In this setting. So what I mean, for example, is you are a lady and he says to you, you have to sleep with me to get a promotion.
Yes.
Okay. Or he puts you in a corner and he makes an unsolicited touch to you. Now, what can I do to prevent this? One, don't be with this person in closed places. Don't go to him alone.
Yeah.
Always have a colleague with you. Then make sure to make a public display. What do I mean by public display? Not anger, but something that you make everybody know that you are bothering me. If it's your boss, say, Mr. John, I said I don't like you now. I'm getting married next month. We all know this. You see, you have taken him off guard.
Yes.
And his strength is in the secret, but you have brought it out
his
to
strength
the
is
open.
in the secret.
So you brought it out to the open. So
Yeah.
now, and then you don't make him feel like you're uncomfortable because it's psychological. He wants to prey on your emotions, and you don't make him feel like, I know I'm a very attractive woman. In fact, if you did not comment on that, I will be very offended. You know, and then you make light of it.
So you take charge of the situation.
Yes.
Instead of acting like you're the victim.
That's it.
Great.
That's it.
Great.
Now, on a final note,
Yes.
we know that life is spiritual.
Yes.
Some of these things don't come from a physical intent.
Yeah.
So we know how to go on our knees
Yes.
and call the name of the person and say, Father, behold, manager B. I do not want him disturbing me again. Now, if God could go into the room of Pharaoh and tell him to restore this man his wife,
Yes.
or I will kill you, that same God can talk to the manager.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank
This
you very
has
much.
been so enlightening.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure having you on the set.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll be right back after the break.